everybody. My name is Katharine Horowitz, and I am a sound designer and composer in the Twin Cities. I've been designing and composing for about 20 years now. I freelance all over at places like the Guthrie Children's Theater, the Jungle Theater, Pillsbury House Theater, and I also am a 2017 McKnight Theater Artist Fellow at the Playwrights Center. Some don'ts. Copyright infringement is a huge, huge deal. So if you really want to put an Elton John song in your play, you can maybe get the rights to put his lyrics in your script, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the theater can get the rights to play that song in the production. And in fact, with Elton John, probably won't. It's very, very difficult to be able to do that. It costs money, and it takes time to get the rights to a song. So I would be very, very careful. If you want to say something like a song like Elton John's, of course, now I've got performance anxiety and I can't think of an Elton John song, but you get the point. So like a song like that, a song like Madonna's Like a Virgin comes on, then that's great. I can parody that, or I can find something that is evocative of that era. But I definitely don't want to have to use Madonna or something like her in the show, because the getting rights to it is going to be very, 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 very difficult. And then just playing it without getting the rights is a little risky. Also, sound is not necessarily there to solve your structural problems, particularly with scene changes. Or if it is, then you need to be very specific and participate in that long scene change by giving us an idea of how sound could help structure it or help play with it. But again, also, you don't want to over-explain anything to the point of stifling designer interpretation. Go easy on the weather and the mood and the foreshadowing. In other words, don't do the "I hope everything goes well" thundercrack. It's a bit of a cliche. Please also don't try to break records. You can certainly say suddenly the loudest, the worst, the quietest, the best sound you've ever heard happens. But I can guarantee you, and particularly now in this era of audio plays where we the audience are listening so much more intimately, we don't want to hear the loudest sound. We don't want to hear the worst sound. Again, if you can go back to your thesaurus and find out some other words for how that sound is the worst sound, is it a screeching? Is it a squealing, a low rumbling that makes your bowels move or something? Is that instead, can you write that in there instead of the worst sound you've ever heard? Again, that gives me options. It gives me room to play, and that's what we really want. We want the sound designer and the director. We want to give them room to make strong choices for your story. Again, I am here to serve your story in the best way possible that I possibly can. But I also need room to be able to do that. And finally, I would say, ask yourself, why is it dramaturgically important to shift the acoustical space at a particular time or in a particular way? And also, I would also add that you should make your sounds connected to the rest of the play, so that they're not just, a one-off or a bunch of cool sonic moments. It's very much like Chekhov's gun principle. Every element in a story must be necessary. No false promises. You don't want to introduce a gun in the first act, but then it never fires again. So if you have something, some fantastically awesome sonic moment that I'm going to love to be able to do, that's great. But we also should have a reason that it occurred. It was building up to something, or it comes back, so that it's not just a one-off. I'd also like to talk a little bit about film and TV, because those are becoming definitely more of an influence, and I think that's great. I actually think that's fine. It means that plays have shorter scenes, so they're sort of relying less on scenery and a little more on sound. Also, like it or not, audiences are getting much, much more used to film sound and what a lot of post-production editing can do for them. So they're gonna want that in their live theater. And conversely, I, at least as a sound designer, am often taking a lot of inspiration from film and TV. I'll be watching something and I'll hear a piece of music or a really cool sound effect, and I will pause whatever it is I'm watching, scribble it down, look it up, something like that, and then try to recreate it later on. So it's very much of an influence, and I think that that's very much okay. I would love to address audio dramas and podcasts, but there's such new territory right now that I don't entirely know how to. I've been having a good time editing a couple audio dramas that I did in the fall of 2020. I will say the possibility for sonic intimacy and an immersive sonic experience for the audience is so exciting and intriguing to me. I really, really love that. And it is audio plays and podcasts are a bit more of a challenge, actually, for sound designers at least, than theater, because it is so much more intimate, because it's literally just the story, the acting, and then the sound design. Like, so it's kind of all the sound designer almost, which is a lot of pressure and also I think at least a really, really great challenge. So I'm kind of psyched to see where this new world of audio dramas and podcasts takes us, at least in terms of sound design. So that is my presentation about sound designers and sound design for playwriting and stories. So that's a little bit about what I do and how I do it. And I hope that it was helpful for all of your playwriting journeys from here on out. And I appreciate you taking this class.